Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. Educators are pressing for an overhaul of the state's school accountability system after a reported drop in student achievement on the state's new iLearn exam, and that includes the state's top education official. Test scores play a key role in how schools and teachers are evaluated, but policymakers say they want to avoid penalizing schools for the lower scores since it's the first year of the test. And State Superintendent of Public Instruction Jennifer McCormick says that's just a start.
We are hopeful that our General Assembly will take a hard look at our state accountability system and address some of those concerns so a year from now we're not having the same conversation.
Education reporter Jeanne Lindsay joins us to walk us through the latest on the controversial iLearn test. Jeanne, thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course.
So what kinds of changes does McCormick want to see in the State House? We just heard from her.
Right.
Yeah.
So the first thing is holding schools harmless this year, basically not penalizing them for lower A through F grades based on lower test scores. And kind of going with that, she wants to pause the intervention timelines for schools so the state isn't trying to come in and fix schools while they have lower grades because of the new test. And like you said, like we just heard, the accountability system is another focal point. So she wants lawmakers to give the state board power to take a really hard look at the accountability system and the way that the state uses test scores. She says that it shouldn't be a tool to evaluate teachers or to hold schools necessarily accountable just based on testing, because it's so much more complicated than that.
So iStep Plus, now that's the test iLearn replaced, that rolled out in what, 2015?
Right.
Also saw similar drops. So how does that compare to now?
Right, so in iStep Plus, we saw drops in scores and people were pretty blindsided by that, and lawmakers then similarly had to take legislative action that a lot of people were calling for. And so people weren't necessarily surprised that iLearn saw a similar dip, but I've heard that people were kind of disappointed because when students were taking the test this spring, a lot of people thought that it went well. So it was less of a big shock and more of just kind of disappointing news.
So these numbers are going to be made public next week. What happens then?
Right, so the state board is going to be presented with the scores at their September 4th meeting, and we'll get a chance to really dive into the data and analyze, how big the drops were and where. But afterwards, that's kind of when we wait to see what lawmakers will do. So they know that they want to hold schools harmless, but we have to wait and see how they'll do that, and then how the state accountability system will change through the state board.
So we will look forward to your reporting come Wednesday.
Yes, absolutely. I'll be there.
Okay.
So.
Jeanne, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.